What's up, guys? It's your boy Reaper back here with another one. What if Naruto wasn't Uchiha? I know, like, this is gonna be like 1.5 because I didn't want to make the other one too long. So, if you like this one, you could subscribe. You could just, if you subscribe for like a day, you could unsubscribe. But you like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and give me feedback on the video. Without further ado, let's get it started. Naruto and Minato were both sitting on the grassy field on their backyard in their backyard in the Namikaze estate. The father and son duo sat under the shade of a sakura tree, enjoying the calm breeze of the afternoon sun. Even though Minato's status was as an Uchiha was now revealed, he did not wish to live in the Uchiha compound. He knew growing up in the Uchiha compound for Naruto might not be a good idea, considering he was the son of the Hokage and his heritage. Most of the Uchiha clan members around him will start to have expectations of him to become something great and placing him on a pedestal above an average child living out there with me. Apart from the clan, at least his life will not be a competition of achievements. The council members of the Uchiha clan won't try anything idiotic as long as I'm here, thought Minato. He was brought out of his musings as he felt Naruto tip his hands. Yes, Naruto, he asked. Tucson, I want to become a shinobi, Naruto said, looking at his feet. I want to become strong like you. I want to live in a peaceful world. You told me there's so much hatred in this world that people from other villages won't talk to us properly because they think we are a threat to them. I want to change that. I want everyone to stay happy. Be happy. I don't want people to die anymore. I don't want you to die. Naruto said the last part in a whisper, still looking down at his feet. Minato was left speechless upon hearing his son's reasoning. He has witnessed a lot of things in his shinobi life, which death of shinobi took the upper rank. He looked at his son with a calculating eye, studying his posture. Naruto thought he must have said something wrong since his father wasn't replying to him. He looked at his father and saw him looking at him intently. He was about to speak something when his father beat him to it. Naruto, do you know why shinobi fights? Why we kill each other? To protect someone close to us, Naruto said, remembering his father telling him this once. That's true. In the shinobi world, there is no right or wrong. Everyone in this world fights for something they think is right. Something which may seem right to you may look wrong to someone else. Do you understand, son? Minato asked. He could see his son was in deep thought, looking at his facial expressions. His left eyebrow was raised slightly, and both of his hands were folded over his chest. He's so much like me in Tucson when we were such deep in our thoughts, he thought, with a bit of nostalgia. Yes, Tucson, I do, Naruto said as he slowly nodded his head. You have an admirable dream, Naruto. You know, most kids your age would say they want to become strong for their own sake, but to be strong to protect someone else is one of the wisest traits that a person can portray. Minato thought Naruto said with a smile. Sorry. Naruto was really glad to have his two sons with him. He loved how his father could make him feel happy all the time. He went and hugged Naruto tightly for a few seconds, enjoying his presence. When they parted, Naruto made Naruto sit on his lap and said, "Naru, the life of shinobi is never easy. It is always full of sacrifices, hardship, hatred. You must do a lot of things, lots of things, which you yourself may feel wrong." Once told me that a shinobi is one who stands firm and endures. I will teach you everything I know about being a shinobi, but at the end, it is up to you, how you make use of that teaching, okay? Hi, Naruto said. "Now, can we start, please?" He asked a bit impatiently. Naruto inwardly smiled, seeing his son so happy on the prospect of being a shinobi. How much ever smart he may seem, Naruto is still a little kid now. I wish you were there to see our son grow up, Kushina. I promise I will always stand by your side, no matter what happens to my little Naru. Yes, I know. Calm down, Naruto. Get up and follow me, okay? Naruto asked, getting a nod from the young boy. Naruto followed his father to a small pond and a few distance away from the sakura tree. His father sat down cross-legged, and he too sat in the same position facing Minato. "Naru, listen closely to me. From now, alright," Minato said as he saw Naruto nod his head. "Today, we are going to unlock your chakra. In our world, essentially, too, everyone contains chakra, starting from humans to animals, even trees and plants. Chakra is a form of life energy, and those who run out of chakra eventually die. Chakra is pronounced within chakra coils, the main surrounding of connects to each origin that produces chakra. Shinobi guaranteed generate release it outside of their bodies, though pressure points, which are called tenketsu points. Minato paused between looking at Naruto and found him listening intently. "Did you understand that? What I said, Naruto, up to now?" Minato asked. "Hi, Tucson," Naruto said. Minato was about to continue when he saw a questioning look on his face. "Naruto, do you have a question?" "Tucson, you once told me, since you are the Hokage, you must have the most chakra in the village, so does that mean you also have more Tenketsu points than others?" Naruto asked. Minato smiled a bit, seeing Naruto's question. He remembered how he used to question his father when he started teaching him the ways of molding chakra in his early years after his mother's unfortunate death. "No, Naru. Every person has a fixed number of Tenketsu points, which is 361. When a person trains for years and conserves their chakra coils tend to expand, thus increasing that person's chakra reserve. Some people are born with more chakra, while some with converging less. People belonging to a shinobi family are born with larger chakra than those in civilian families." Minato looked at his son and saw him nod and understand. Naruto followed his words. Now we'll try to unlock your chakra," he said, and Naruto smiled with a big excitement in his eyes. "Naruto, relax. Your body and relax your body and put both palms, my fault. Naruto, relax your body and put the palms of both of your hands together and hold it in front of your chest and close your eyes. Keep focus on yourself and nothing else. Try to find a warm pool and try to find a warm. Try and find a warm pool in your body. Naruto said, and saw Naruto sitting in the instructed position, closing his eyes. It had been about 10 minutes that Naruto was sitting in the same position, his hands collapsed in front of him. I wonder if he's going to unlock it first try. It is very rare, but not impossible, Naruto said as he saw his son concentrate. Meanwhile, Naruto was breathing. He had become late in his mind in a perfect state of calmness. He searched deep within his body, searching for a warm thing, and he saw a blush purple light. He instincted his hands and pulled it down. Naruto was thinking those lines where there was a sudden burst of purple chakra from creating a spider web cracks on the ground. They were sitting. Naruto's eyes widened on seeing the ground crack around him and Naruto. He saw how wildly the chakra floored and swirled around Naruto's body. So much chakra and density at such a young age. Incredible. There was chakra output continued for a while, and soon Naruto opened his eyes, seeing his father look at him with wide eyes. He felt incredibly now. He could sense his father's chakra in front of him and was amazed at how large it was. He could also pinpoint two other people standing on the east side of his house. Must be shinobi working, especially for Tucson. He thought, Naruto, I did it, Tucson, he whispered in a tired voice. He seemed his father's stupefied expression and tried standing up. He put his hand on the ground and stood up with shaky noodle legs. And as soon as he took the steps forward, his vision became a bit hazy and he started falling towards the ground. Naruto quickly stood up from his position and moved to catch Naruto before he fell. I'm proud of you, Naruto. You must have been tired now, huh? Naruto asked, getting a weak nod from Naruto. He placed him on his arms and felt him fall asleep immediately. He brushed his hair softly once and heard him release a confident sigh. There's no doubt in my mind you'll go on to achieve great things, my son. Whatever path you shall choose in life, just know I'll always be there by your side, he whispered softly. Naruto then took Naruto inside the house and laid him gently on the sofa of the living room. Sleep well, Naruto, Naruto said and kissed his forehead once. He then looked at the clock and saw it was around 4:30 in the afternoon. I should get done with some paperwork. I'll take Naruto for some robbery tonight. Naruto made his way to the office into the house 2 hours later. It was around 8 at night. Naruto began slowly opening his eyes, rubbing his eyes once to get adjusted to the room light. He realized he must have fallen asleep right after he unlocked his chakra. He looked around the room and saw he was on the couch in the living room. Tucson must have put me here, he thought. He got up from the couch and filed a blanket kept it aside. He walked towards the kitchen, seeing it was empty. Naruto remembered how he could pinpoint the location of the two ambus that were standing just outside the house and sensed the amount of chakra his father possessed. He closed his eyes and tried to find his father. He's in the office room, Naruto thought with a smile. He immediately opened his eyes and made his way upstairs towards his father. Naruto was busy doing paperwork when he heard the door open and lock up to see his son. Naruto, when did you wake up? Naruto thought. Tucson, I'm hungry. Can we get dinner now? Naruto blurted out immediately. He rubbed his head secretly. Give me a few minutes, okay? We'll go out to get some Ichiraku ramen. Naruto smiled upon hearing this and said that he ran into his room to get dressed. So much of useless paperwork. I don't know if it ever gets going. It's crashed for the past few hours. All he had been doing was sitting in his chair and signing away the papers. Most of it was requests made by random tasks by civilians, which didn't know. It wouldn't get his job done any faster. He went through the remaining documents on his desk and checked if anyone required his main attention, and then made a Kagebushin with no hand sign, ordered it to finish the rest of the paperwork. The clone gave me to a glare and gradually got to doing the paperwork. Meanwhile, Minato was walking out of the room smirking, thinking, I doubt anyone ever thought about using Kagebushins to get the job faster, even though Minato could have used the Kagebushins to do work the entire time. He only used it when he had important things to do. Most of the time, he had gone through the papers himself and casted. In case it was the important document, Minato went down towards the main door to see Naruto waiting there quietly and impatiently. It still amused him how much his son loved ramen. It was among the things which could make his son act his own age. Ready to go, Naruto? He asked, looking at Naruto. Hi, son, come on. Let's hurry up. Naruto exclaimed to his father's hand, and both walked out the house towards the only ramen shop in Konagagaru Nosatu. It was a cold night in the village, hidden in the leaves. It was the month of November, and the snow was just yet to fall. There was a strong wind blowing, because of which most civilians were already inside their house. There were several Ambu, known as shinobi, and as well as normal shinobi, were strolling the streets of the village. Most of the clan houses were on the outskirts of the village, which seemed quite desolate. Desolate. Desolate at night. Sorry. The Namikaze compound was on the east side of the village, near the Uchiha compound, even though several questions regarding the Uchiha moved the Uchiha clan further away from their original place was raised after the QB attack. Minato dissolved any further discussions on the matter with an absolute no. Even if Minato wasn't raised by the Uchiha clan or did not abide by their laws, he was still born in Uchiha. He may not like some people in the Uchiha clan, but they were still part of Konoha. He wouldn't want to watch them get isolated from their village, interviewed, or be moved from the battlegrounds where they have lived since the founding days of the village. Minato and Naruto walked out of the Namikaze compound and made their way towards the shop. Along the way, Minato, the father-son duo, made ideal talks as what they will be doing tomorrow and certain points. At Naruto started training, it was mostly Naruto doing all the talking. Minato just listened to his 4-year-old boy talk. Naruto himself slightly excited at the prospect of becoming a shinobi. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he knew he could do it. He wanted to become powerful. He had heard stories of his grandfather's battle powers, as it captivated him to think someone so powerful could ever exist. It made it maybe childish to think, but he did promise himself, I will be the strongest anyone in this world has ever been. Sorry for the background noise if you hear that. Unconsciously, he gripped his father's hand tighter. Minato noticed his son's face as they were nearing the shop and saw how calm he looked and tilted his head at the night sky. I wish you were here to see him, Kushina, he thought. Both father and son brought out their thoughts when they realized they had reached the ramen shop. Hi, Hokage-sama. Hi, Naruto-kun. Both Chuchi and Ayame, as they saw Minato and Naruto come inside the shop. The father and son then took a seat as they were greeted by the two ramen store owners, Gigi Ayami. How many times have I told you not to call me by, not to call me with formalities? You guys have known me for years, Mito said. It's only the right thing to do, Okage-sama said to Ichi with a slight grin. Mito, knowing it was no good, wouldn't do with any good. Ayami looked at Naruto and asked Naruto-kun, what have you been doing today? The same as always? Naruto quickly nodded as, oh, what do you have today? The same as always, Naruto quickly nodded, staring at, getting really hungry. I will also have the same as Naruto. Hey, Yame, so make it two miso ramen. Mito added. The two chefs went inside the kitchen and started making the food. After a few minutes, Ayami came out with two steaming hot bowls of ramen kept in front of Mito and Naruto. Naruto inhaled the delicious aroma of the food and started gulping it down and finished in a matter of a few seconds. Mito watching him eat switch up at how quickly his son finished it. He definitely got his ramen addiction in 2 minutes from Kushina, Mito thought. Mito finished his bowl in the next few minutes and the pair left the store back to their house, bidding the two chefs a good night for the night. Itachi Uchiha, a 9-year-old black boy and the other son of the current Uchiha clan head, regarded as the genius of the Uchiha clan. He graduated from the Shinobi Academy of the village within a year, top of his class. But the main thing that made the boy so special was the fact that he awakened his Sharingan at a mere age of 7. Many from the Uchiha clan, as well as the village, had great expectations for the boy. Even though Itachi was subjected to much praise of everyone, he never let any of it go to his head. He was among very few humble shinobi within his clan. He was kind, gentle, sometimes which a small part of the Uchiha clan members disliked, but did not say anything to his face because he was the son of the clan head. He became a genin at the age of 7, but as soon as the next year he was promoted to tuning during the tuning exams, having Kumogakure no Sato. He returned from his border patrol duty when he saw the Hokage and his son walking back towards their home. Seeing he was going home too, he started to walk with them. He jumped down from the train and started to make his way toward directions. His eyes widened a bit. As Minato and Naruto were walking back home, Minato saw Naruto abruptly stop and look behind him. Minato was confused for a second when he felt the presence when he felt a presence approaching them. Soon enough, he saw Itachi walking towards them in his shinobi gear. Minato looked at his son, a sensor. His sensing ability had seemed to extremely great to able to sense Itachi. Minato looked and said, Itachi coming back from border patrol, I assume. Yes, Hokage-sama. I was relieved from my duty by Shishui. Itachi replied politely. He then looked at me, Naruto, and his ever so calm stoic face as he thought, this is my son, Naruto Namikaze. I believe you have met him. Have you not? Minato asked. Itachi said. Itachi looked and nodded. I have a couple times around the village, but not often, though my mother did tell me a lot about Naruto-kun here. Even though Itachi and Sasuke have been both visited the Namikaze state, along with their parents on so many occasions, Naruto often stayed inside his room reading books on various shinobi lands and the history of ninjutsu. So, it was only Mikoto who went up into Naruto's room to have a talk with him once in a while Fukage and Shun stayed downstairs in the living room with Minato. Hokage-sama, what is Naruto's age? Minato raised his eyebrows upon hearing the question. He's 4 years old and a month now. Naruto was standing outside his father, but just kept quiet this time and stared at the boy who was talking to his Tuchan. He knew Itachi was. He knew who Itachi was, and had seen him on the house occasions, on many occasions, and has heard several shinobi talking about the Uchiha prodigy. Itachi widened upon hearing that. To have such great sensitive abilities at such a young age, I know my chakra was kept suppressed. Naruto saw Itachi's look. It's Itachi's shocked look for a second, knew what he was thinking. He's quite special, Okage-sama. I already surprised to see a 4-year-old boy to have locked his chakra, Itachi said, with a smile towards Naruto. Naruto nodded as he glanced at his son for a second. How is Sasuke doing, Itachi? He's doing well. In fact, he was starting his ninja training soon. He looked at Naruto for a second and turned his gaze back on the matter. Maybe I should bring Sasuke to meet up with Naruto over at your place someday later. They could become great friends with each other and could possibly develop a friendly rivalry, Itachi said. Minato knew Naruto did not have many friends his age. He often would take him to a park, but most he did was talk to alliance with a few children. He asked him the reason on so many occasions, but all he got was, I don't know, Tushan. They all just look at me different. It made me sad knowing how my son was treated in the village by civilians and shinobi who lost their feelings on that night. But there was very little he could do to make the entire village grieve the loss for they had faced 4 years ago. Thus, his face formed a smile upon hearing this, and the prospect of Naruto meeting someone his age and befriending him. Well, he also looked at me differently like other people. It was Naruto's both Itachi and Minato could note the tiny glimpse of sadness in his voice. Surprising, Itachi bent down to Naruto's eye level and said firmly, "No, Naruto-kun, Sasuke wouldn't look at you anyway. They look at you that way. Also, it shouldn't matter what others think about you. They don't know you personally and you don't know them personally. You're special, Naruto-kun. You have a power within you, which others don't. People who don't understand what they don't know and tend to fear it. So do not make that face." Naruto, surprised on hearing that, he looked at his father and turned to Itachi, said, "Thank you, Itachi-san." Itachi got up from the position and looked up at the sky of the moon's position. It's getting quite late, Okage-sama. I should probably leave now. Apologize to keep you occupied, he said. It's no problem, Itachi. Tell Fukaku and Mikoto to come by our house sometimes. Minato said. Naruto felt happy that he would meet Mikoto again. He remembered how nice the lady used to come and talk to him. Many of the books which he has now were gifted him by his auntie, if you don't know. Of course, though, Kage-sama. Itachi then looked at Naruto. It was good meeting you, Naruto-kun. I'll come shoot. I'll come with Sasuke sometime later to meet you again. He bowed Minato once and disappeared and leaves to his home. That was so cool. That was some cool technique. Tushan, do you think you could teach me that? Naruto asked silently. Minato, seeing his son's reaction and just settled for a nod. He took Naruto's hands in his own, and they walked back towards the Namikaze compound. Now, this is the end of. Well, this is like the end of the because the first part I didn't finish it, so this is just like the finish of the first part. So I hope you liked the video. Give me some feedback. You can like or dislike if you didn't like it, and peace out.